Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about the movie The Running Man, starring Glenn Powell, I believe. And so, just to preface, this is a movie that is based on the novel by Stephen King. There was another movie that was made there was another movie called The Running Man that was supposedly made based on the novel by Stephen King. However, it didn't really replicate what Stephen King's novel was about, and Stephen King kind of hates that movie. I believe that movie was starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I agree. By looking up what the premise of that movie is, I agree that it really doesn't replicate anything like what this movie that I just watched was. Obviously, I didn't watch that movie, and maybe I will someday to compare. We'll see. But yeah, so based on the movie, just a short premise for this 2025's The Running Man. So it's kind of taking place in like a futuristic dystopia where there's like a poor side and there's a rich side, and then people pretty much compete in these brutal game shows where you either die or get seriously injured, it seems like, to win a ton of money. And obviously, it seems like they're living in a very corrupt society. Now, there are certain things that kind of stood out to me in this movie. First, I'll talk about like the acting. At first, I felt like the movie was moving a little bit slow, and I'm not sure if it actually was or if that's just, I don't know, like it was the acting. But once it picked up, I kind of forgot about all of that, and I thoroughly enjoyed the acting. I thought everybody did amazing. I thought the emotion that the actors put into their characters was well done. I don't know who the actress is that played Glenn's character's wife in the movie is, but I thought her portrayal of emotion when she was on screen, I thought she did a great job. And she didn't have a whole lot of screen time, but like I felt her presence when she was there, if that makes any sense. Obviously, I liked Glenn's character. There's one hunter, I don't know what his name is, but he had blonde hair. And I also thought that he did pretty darn amazing. Like the close-up shots that you always got of him, everything that he did, I thought he did. I thought he did it very well. In terms of like other characters, I forget the black guy who was playing the host. I guess I'll kill two birds in one stone by talking about his character, and the actor. I forget his name. I know he's a popular actor, but I forget his name. Amazing job at being eccentric. He kind of reminded me of the host from the Hunger Games, like being this eccentric character. And also like the way that like they introduce like the competitors, and then also kind of lying a little bit of their backstory. Although in the Stephen King's The Running Man, it was lies that like really didn't make them look good at all. In the Hunger Games, I'm pretty sure the lies made like the competitors look good so they can get like sponsors and stuff while they were in the game. Also, eerily similar to the Hunger Games was, the crowd. I'm not sure if it consisted of all poor people or all rich people who were attending like the viewing of the show. However, that also reminded me of the Hunger Games, where it's like all these rich people came to like view the show or just view the competitors, enter the show or start the show. And like them being like really brutal or really positive in who they were cheering for or who they were not cheering for. And I thought that really was very interesting. It reminds me of a couple of dystopian movies, but definitely Hunger Games and also The Long Walk that I recently reviewed. And it's because of this poor, a rich dynamic. And in the Hunger Games especially, where people are pretty much competing for money and they're being watched, they're being televised, and it's seen as this huge spectacle among like the rich. In The Long Walk, people were watching, However, I don't know if it was such a as positive of a spectacle. I know the people that greeted them at the end of the long walk, it seemed like it's like, this is crazy, you know, people are dying. But you could tell that the people on the long walk, as the boys were walking by, that it was kind of like a somber kind of moment for them to watch. However, it did remind me of that people watching some sort of spectacle still, and the aspect of like poor people competing in a game to win money, and it's kind of entertainment for those who are better off. You know, in terms of what I felt about this movie, I don't know, like I felt like there was a little bit missing for me. Like I thoroughly enjoyed the movie, but I really felt like maybe there was a little bit missing, and I don't know what it is. I think maybe because there was not necessarily any resolve at the end of the movie. And but to be honest with you, based on the Stephen King movies that I've watched, I find that they kind of always end on this, like, not a cliffhanger, but it's like it kind of ends on this thing where this is still going on, or and we won't know the outcome of it, or somebody's ended it but we don't know what's gonna happen afterwards. And I feel like maybe that's his style of writing, and I feel like in a movie, like not having resolve, it's like, ugh, like it's a little frustrating. Like the movie is great, but it's just a little bit frustrating, but that's okay. I still think it was a great movie. There are characters that kind of slightly annoyed me. I feel like the girl towards the end of the movie, whose car he stole and he got into, and then she was on the plane and stuff like that. I didn't really care for her at all. I feel like I could have done without her character. To be honest, I couldn't wait for her to get off screen because it like that whole everything with her was just a little bit annoying to me. I don't know why. I get maybe her character is supposed to be like that, but I guess the character in and of itself, not the actress, is what I didn't really enjoy too much. Then we get the hunter. I guess he's the main hunter. We find out that in the beginning of the movie, we kind of find out that there was this guy who survived 29 days in the Running Man, and the Running Man takes place over 30 days. And we find out that that main hunter is him, and he actually took them up on an offer to become a hunter, I guess in exchange for his life or whatever. And I felt like that reveal was a little bit lackluster to me for some reason. And again, like, I don't know if I'm spoiled or I expect too much from these movies, but I really did feel like, oh, I wish the reveal like gave me more. And I don't know what they could have done to like maybe build up more tension leading up to that. In terms of like the hunters, I enjoyed all of their characters. I feel like maybe like more, I don't know if backstory or just more around them. It's like they were brutal, right? But it's like at the same time, it's like, I guess because the movie has this comedic dark undertone, you're never actually gonna get that extreme, or I'm not saying I want to see extreme brutality, but you're never gonna feel completely the seriousness of what's going on in the movie because of the comedic undertone that it has, even though it's exploring some pretty serious and dark topics. But yeah, like, again, I'm not gonna really go through everything that this movie is about. It's just a little review of what I felt about the movie, my thoughts on it. Overall, like I said, I really did enjoy it. I think I would watch it again. Honestly, I wish there was like a part 2 or something so we could see what happens afterwards. But again, who knows? Maybe they would ruin that. I don't know. But overall, I guess I did enjoy this movie, and I think I'm going to give it like an 8.5 out of 10. I would rewatch it, so I think it deserves that score. So yeah, guys, tell me what you thought about The Running Man. If you saw it already, if you didn't see it, are you going to see it? And what other movies would you like me to review? So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Bye.